What's up, Rev?
Just connecting.
Yo.
Hey, man. How's
What's
it
up,
going?
Rev? What's going on?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, good.
Doing good, man.
Yeah.
Good. Let me try to swap this around. I'm so bad with this stuff. I'm
not
just the worst. I'm trying to see all your beautiful faces. Oh, there we go. All right.
All right. Cool, man. How was that Sounders game yesterday? Did they win, dude?
You know what? Here's the thing. I was so excited about going to that match, and me and my wife just bought a brand new Eurovan, and it broke down on the way there.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
So we actually sat in a 100, like almost 100 heat here in Seattle for like 3 hours waiting for a tow truck. But
dude, dude, no, man. I've been there.
Could be worse. Could be worse. You know, like, it was all right. I missed the game, unfortunately, but it won't be the last one. We'll be all right.
Right on, right on. Yeah, I know some people are fanatical about that, man. You know, I'm more of a hockey dude. I'm not much. I've never been much, sports, but I like hockey a lot. And the Penguins are kind of like I'm a little crazy about them. So we.
I'm a big hockey guy too. Like
cool.
Me and Mo. That's one of the first conversations I had with my wife was about the Bruins. We're both Bruins fans.
Oh, okay.
But the Kraken is showing up in Seattle this coming season, so I can't wait, man.
They're gonna have their own team. Yeah. That's wonderful, dude. We here in Ohio, like I live in Akron. It's like maybe 35 minutes from Cleveland, something like that. We don't have an NHL team. We never did until recently, with the Columbus Blue Jackets, whatever. But shit, to us, that's further down the way than going across to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? And watching the Penguins. So everybody watch the Penguins, and there it goes. You know what I mean? But,
when the Penguins got Crosby, so that's a good team to root for.
The Pens are sweet, dude. They're good. Bruins are good. I mean, can't really. They're good too. So, man, we listen to your music, man. You got a hell of a voice, man. Hell of a voice.
Thank you.
There ain't nobody singing like that. Me and him were just talking about it. How the hell you playing with the downstroke? I mean, dude, you play and sing like you take that to a whole other level, dude.
Well, I truly appreciate the kind words. Thank you. A lot of hard work. I wish I could say it was just natural talent, but I actually never wanted to sing ever in a band. I've always wanted to just play guitar, but years ago, one of my old bands, we couldn't find somebody who worked out. So a friend of mine was just like, just figure it out. And then it's a blessing and a curse that I happen to be good at it. So now I got to do it forever,
Hey, man, whatever works, that sounds great, dude. So, that's
a friend of mine once told me, be careful what you're good at because people are going to want you to do it forever. And that's where I'm stuck right now. So, but I appreciate it.
I understand.
Thank you.
Yeah, we know about that. Of course, we're not incredibly good at what we do, but we're really thankful that you guys join us.
No worries.
In the spirit of DIY punk rock, we decided we were gonna, look up a bunch of people that we like and try and find new people that we like. And so we're certainly happy that you were able to make time for us. And as a fellow West Coaster, fuck yeah. And I don't live there now. I'm trapped on the East Coast, but I'm from the West Coast. And I'll be there next month. So
nice.
Come and see me nowhere. But,
Well, I know you guys also had to reschedule for me. So I appreciate you guys being flexible with that. So thank you for being understanding.
We're getting the better end of the deal here. So, we were
I don't know. We're just starting. This interview could go terrible. You might regret everything.
Dude, hey, look, we are the most unprofessional people. Like, I try so fucking hard, and I'm late every time. I'm gonna fuck something up. I'm gonna probably, like, there'll be another guy in the band that wrote the song, and I'm gonna be like, so what was that song about when you wrote it? I had the guy the worst fucking thing ever, man. I got Ray Rocket talking from Teenage Power Rocket. He's on here with us. We're fucking. I'm just excited as hell, And I'm like, what were you thinking when you wrote "My Name Is Steve"? Well, there's two fucking things you might have been thinking. A, he didn't write it. And B, Minecraft.
Yeah. That's so good.
Well, and in the spirit of I'd never heard your music before.
Cool.
I'm kind of sad about that until today. and it's badass. I really, really like it. It's definitely in the vein of the stuff that I enjoy. But like I was telling one of our guests the other day, I love a fucking origin story. So I did see that you guys were kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different bands. Like, how did you guys come together and become, you know, the band that you are now?
So I was in a band with Andy, our bass player, called Success. That was like more of like a pop punk band, but still very, very positive. And we played in that band. I was in that band for 15 years, and we played in that band together. Andy played keys. And when that band, two of the guys had like real jobs, you know, and like started having families, and it just couldn't get, we were going separate ways in a sense. Those two guys were moving more of the family life, and me and Andy wanted to keep going and stay on the road all the time. So we were like, oh, well, we should do something together. And years ago, that same band had a guy named Jake, who was from Madcap and Time Again. And he was also, he was in the Briggs and a band called Shell Corporation. We had him fill in on drums. And on that first tour we played together, it was us, the Briggs, and 7 Seconds on a West Coast tour together. And on that tour, Jake and I fell in love. He just became my best friend. And like, so we kept going in that same spirit of me and Andy. Me and Jake were like, we should always start something. We should do something together. And so that just kind of stayed in the background. And then when Success started to kind of teeter off a little bit, we were like, well, fuck it. Let's talk to Jake and let's just do a band together. And I think it mostly came from an understanding of wanting to be on the road nonstop. And we kind of have this very similar work ethic to where, like, the Drowns, you know, we've only been a band for 3 years now, but we've been able to make leaps of progress. And it's truly because I was up front with the guys and they were up front with me. And we all agreed that we're going to say yes to everything, every good opportunity, and then figure it out later. And so actually, when we picked up another guitar player, because we started as a 3-piece, we picked up Johnny. I was straight up with him. And I was like, hey, man, so I don't want this to come off rude, but if you can't figure something out, you can't play with us. We're going to say yes to everything good, and then we're just going to fucking figure it out. And so he was luckily totally down. And that's the reason why we were on these huge festivals right away. And we were on these good tours right away. It's like, everybody was just like, okay, this is 100% what we want to do, right? Because if you have any reservations, you should fuck off. So, because that's not the plan. So luckily, all of us were in the same boat. And so it all kind of worked out. And now I get to play music all over the world with my best friends. So it really worked out great for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I like the upfront attitude. Like, yeah, that's great, because then you could avoid all the drama, the band drama. So yeah, that's very cool. I love that. I didn't know you guys have only been around for 3 years. You certainly don't sound like it.
Ah, shit, thank you. Well, all of us have been doing it for almost 20 years apiece. So it's like, Jake, the drummer, was in Madcap when he was like 16 or something. They were on Warped Tour. So he's been doing it the longest. But yeah, all of us have been doing it for about 20 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. Not to insinuate you guys were some sort of, Johnny come latelys or anything like that. Just that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
It's only been 3 years. Wow, you don't suck. No, that's.
I didn't even know how to, like, I don't even think I could. My hand could follow my foot after 3 years with the drum. I mean, yeah. You.
Yeah.
We shake, Trevor.
Now, Rev, you guys released an album last year in 2020. Like, how did that go over? Like, being in the pandemic, you're releasing this record and you have no idea when you're going to get to tour it. And now I've seen you guys were just back in the studio again in April as well. Like, yeah, how's that going? Because I know for me personally, like, I haven't been able to get together with my personal band like for the past however many months, being locked down. I'm just it should be devastating, really, because we put out for myself, from a totally personal standpoint, I put out what I feel is the greatest record I've ever been on at the exact wrong time to put out a fucking album. So it should have killed me, really. But no, the beauty
the beautiful part and the positive note that I'm trying to take from what had happened was that record is gonna it created this weird underground like popularity because everyone was at home during 2020. So everyone was on the internet and everybody found that album. And now it's like in this weird way, we've built up all this tension from under tension. We built up all this, like, you know, this tension, these people wanting to see these songs live. And now we've only done 1-2 week tour on the West Coast right before the world shut down of those actual songs. So I think it's honestly going to help us out in the long run, as weird as that is. And, you know, it didn't help our vinyl sales per se, but, you know, it definitely is. It's still kind of working out, which is weird. And I'm still super fucking proud of it. And now I just want to go play those songs.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
It's like the best worst. It's like the
No
best worst situation. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, but we don't ever stop. We don't ever stop.
I definitely found it during 2020 on the internet. I mean, that's how I found you, man. I can't say any different. I was just perusing through, you know, new music, new stuff. And I was like, oh, this looks like it might be kind of cool. You know, I mean, that's what I do. You know, and I think that's what we all do. If something looks okay, yeah, let's give it a shot, you know. And it was them Rats, dude. And I was blown the fuck away. Blown away. Cool. That's a kid. Not only was it's a great song, dude, great song, but the video's killer too. You know, so it really kind of, you know, it gives you the whole experience. And it was kind of like, you know, I kind of see like a commentary going on there, and I dug it, and I was like, right on, you know, these guys are saying some shit, but you know, there's nothing overly negative here. You seem to have you seem to put a positive twist on everything, man, and I kind of dig that, man. You know,
I appreciate that.
You know, too often, in the past, and like with punk rock and stuff, there's always been this like vibe, like, you know, like underlying, I don't know, almost like a negativity. Let's just be honest, you know. And does it have to be like that? I don't think so, man. I think there's a lot of good bands right now that are coming out that are positive. You know, they put a spin on things that you can kind of get behind. You know what I mean? And I dig it, man. Personally, I like it.
It's kind of insane in this weird way. It's like I understand that a lot of punk rock was born out of frustration, and you know, obviously you can't deny where that comes from, right? But it's kind of insane how often I've actually been shit on over the years for this exact idea we're talking about right now. You know, it's like, you know, generalized as a pussy or whatever like that. And that's all totally fine because that shit means nothing to me. So that's fine. But the thing is, life is fucking hard. We all know that. Life's hard as shit. And it shits on you all the time. So why would I want to perpetuate that on myself, you know? And like, I'm not an overly religious or spiritual guy per se. But I do know that the more that I am an asshole or I am negative or I'm fucking sad about shit that sucks is the more it just continues lingering. And I was in a couple bands back in the past where like they kind of thrived on that. And, you know, and I understand that, like the jawbreaker mentality of like thriving on that kind of melancholy song. I fucking get it. You know, I love putting on a sad song and being like, man, why this tough, you know?
Who doesn't, man? I mean,
but also it's like I have the ability on my small soapbox to say something in the microphone that could make some kid not fucking care about their shitty parents, or some kid not fucking care about the teachers who suck, or the authority figures who shit on them, or the other kids in school. And for people our age, it's like you can forget about how tough it is paying bills for a minute, and you can go to a show and like have a good time for 30 minutes where you and the people in that room are just joining in this collective feeling of like, fuck yeah, you know? And that's all of that is more worth it to me than being able to be like, fuck the cops, you know? And like, as much as I put a little bit of that in my music here and there, you know, it's always with the spin, or at least I try to do it with the spin of there's a way out. There's always a way out. There's always another choice. There's always another door, you know, with whatever problem you're having. And so the fact that you guys pick up on that and you can say that to me unprompted is huge, man, you know, like, and that makes it all worth it for me. So thanks for saying
dude, it's in there. You can hear it, man. It's real simple shit. I love it, dude. Great.
No, thanks.
We're gonna say something else, Trevor, before we got excited.
No, I'm as I mentioned, I'm in a band as well, and of course I'm always curious. You know, I see you playing Gibsons. I see you playing Fenders. Which are you, man? Which
We're-
are you?
we're-
Which is
We're about
your
to
number one?
we're about to derail this whole interview for like a fucking hour. I'm a huge guitar nerd, and I have tons of gear. Like if I move the camera around, there's gear that has just become furniture in my house right here. Like I have so much gear. I like them all. I'm a collector, you know. And
Nice.
I married a nurse who I only point out that she's a nurse because for one, she's very supportive of my life, you know, but also she's supportive of my terrible gear habit. So she actually like, you know, she buys me guitars, and she like, if I'm like, oh, I shouldn't really spend this, you know, $1,500 on a Flying V right now, she's like, fuck it, you only live once, you know. So we have so many guitars. Right now, I have an old Gretsch hollow body that's like my favorite, but I play a little bit of everything. Yeah.
I've got a Gretsch Electromatic myself. And,
oh, nice. Yeah, hell yeah.
I love it. I actually just traded my Gibson Les Paul in and got myself a Godin Radium.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool.
That thing is badass, man.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I just saw, you know, lots of videos and images where you're playing an SG and this semi hollow body, and then all of a sudden you're playing Fenders, and I'm like, normally, you know, not normally, but a lot of times, you get the guys who are like, no. And I was like,
anything that makes me suck less. That's all. That's all I need is that I need a little comfort bubble. Other than that, I don't care what it is.
Awesome.
Trevor's was that Matt?
Oh no, I'm just saying that telly. The Telecaster, the one being on, it was sweet looking.
Oh hell yeah, I love it. I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. That's where that Telecaster comes from.
Nice.
Reminded me a strummer like to play them tellies, man.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Matt.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. Well, you know, you guys are, everything's kind of seeming like it's kind of lightening up and getting back to normal a little bit. I mean, you know, with caution, whatever. You guys are going to be going out. Who are you touring with again?
So right now we don't have. The only thing we have planned, or at least that I can talk about, we have a couple shows. We have a show in Tacoma coming up, which is like our first kind of like back to it and at home, which would be rad. That's in August. And then in October, we're playing Crash Fest in San Francisco with like our buddies in Bishop's Green and our buddies in the Lower Class Brats.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. And Informal Society's playing that show too. It's going to be awesome. And that's a big one for me because the guys in Bishop's Green, and I, like, we went on tour together years ago, also with 7 Seconds, but on an East Coast tour. And I love those guys. And I haven't been able to see them because of them being in Canada and stuff. So, you know, it'll be great. I'm a huge Lower Class Brats fan too. And those guys are all our really good friends. I'm just happy to see all those guys. So yeah, they're such
awesome. And they're
such a good band.
Nice, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially Bones and Ron, man. I love those guys.
Yeah. I took one of my older boys to go see them like a long ass time ago. I live in Tallahassee now. And I took one of my boys to see them, and like they were so excited that I brought my kid with me. And I was like, I went up and because my son was all nervous and everything. And I was like, come on, let's go talk to him, you know? And I walked over like, hey dude, it's a nice show and everything like that. And he was just like, oh, mom.
I love that shit.
and then he got super excited because then they were like, oh, a little punk rocker. Like they got super excited that I brought my kid with me.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, he got to meet them. He thought that was very cool.
So rad.
Yeah.
Declan was 5 years old, and that was the last time. Well, that was 3 years ago, and it was the last time that Social D was like out this way. And I'd never seen him before, and you know, I had to check that box. But of course, I had the little guy, you know, so I was like, no, you're going. So
Yeah,
his,
hell yeah,
one of
that's
his
awesome.
first shows was 5 years old at fucking Social Distortion, and it was
That's awesome.
dude, he stood right with me. Everybody was cool as shit, and you know, we had a good time. It freaked him out when they
Rad.
started playing, you know, especially like the snare and the bass drum started hitting. But he had a good time.
They're loud too, man. That band is loud as shit.
Dude, he heard his
Hey,
name.
what's up, dude? Hey, dude.
He took off. He always does that. Like once an episode, he'll stick his head in and be like, "What's up?" And then he just books. You don't see him again. He just likes to be like, he thinks he's like, I'm on TV or something. I'm like, dude, we're not on TV. Like, you know. He's like, Dad, you're gonna go do an interview? Like he's all like, excited and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm gonna go fuck it up. Yeah.
Matt, you're doing great so far. So far, so good.
Well, we both know different though. Oh man, no, that's awesome. Like I got the opportunity to talk to Chaser a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about,
cool.
You know, they're putting on their homecoming show, and you know, first time getting out. It's just it's good to hear, dude. You know what I mean? It's just good to hear everyone's gonna get out there, and hey, we might actually get to have some fun this summer. You know what I mean? So it sounds great, dude.
You know, 2020, obviously we could go on for so long about how rough it was for everyone, and so much worse than me. Let me point that out. There were so many people that had such a worse year than me. But 2019, it was so hard putting those brakes on in 2020 because 2019 was such a big year for us, and we did so many huge things. And we had so much planned for 2020 that it was such a big letdown. The album came out and then everything hit the ground, you know, and we had to stop. That I would be lying if I didn't say that I'm counting the fucking minutes till I get back on the stage. I'm like ready to go. I'm glad everyone's safe. Now I'm ready to fucking go. So
I don't blame you at all, man. I don't blame you at all. You know, that's I'd have to say pretty much out of a lot of people I know, you know, a lot of my friends, myself, you know, Trevor, I mean, he's a musician. You know, you're doing something that a lot of people would love to do. So, you know what I'm saying? I understand you being like, dude, I'm trying to get back to it, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to get the pick to go deliver food tonight. I can assure you. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Fuck yeah. I mean, dude, I'm happy for you guys, man. I'm real happy.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
One of my favorite questions to ask too, because apparently I'm taking a memory lane, is I love to ask people what's your favorite music to listen to when you're not listening to like punk or whatever other things that you traditionally listen to? Like what's your go-to?
I listen to a lot of jazz, like a whole lot of jazz. And like not like smooth elevator jazz, you know, and not necessarily like crazy bebop either, but I do listen to a lot of jazz. I was actually just in Manhattan a couple weeks ago with a friend, just going to jazz shows in Manhattan. So when I was in school, I got really into jazz guitar and just kind of branched out from there. So.
That's very cool, man. I like that. Like
no one would expect it, but
no, man. I actually like jazz. I like the type of like Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday and that sort of stuff. That would be like my go-to if I was to listen to something like that. That is like the best kind of soothing, calm music to listen to. Like just you know, chilling around the house. That's some good shit.
It's that juxtaposition, right? Because then I'll put on like a hardcore record. So it's like that's two parts of my personality, you know.
Life is about balance, man. Life is about balance.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man.
Hey, Trevor, did you have any more questions, man?
Not really, but I am kind of curious when you guys eventually do make it back up here to Canada. Hopefully, hoping you guys will come through Ontario. You know, London or Toronto area. Either way, because I'm there, man. I'm there.
Yeah. So the minute they open the borders back up comfortably for us to be able to go, we're gonna make a plan. We love it up there. We did a really big tour there not too long ago, where we went from, if I remember correctly, we went from Vancouver like all the way over to Toronto. Like we went through, you know, we played like Saskatoon. We played all over. It was awesome. We played Regina, which was surprisingly good. It was actually a really great show in Regina. But yeah, man, it's the minute they open the borders back up fully for us to be able to go, we're there. I love it up there, dude. I absolutely love it up there. And we got a bunch of good friends in Toronto. I worked with a producer named Steve Risen out of Toronto. I think his studio's called like Drive or something.
Okay, yeah.
But he does like all the Flatliners records.
Right.
I worked with that guy years ago, and he's an old friend, and I love getting to see him. I think the last time we were there, we maybe were on tour with No Fun at All, but I might have that wrong.
Shit.
But
Nice.
yeah, we toured with No Fun at All, and then
That's badass, dude.
we did a tour that was like partially with No Fun at All and partially with Sloppy Seconds, and it was fucking
Nice.
awesome.
That's a cool pairing,
I
dude.
haven't heard anybody mention that band in a long time.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I love those dudes, and personally, they're such good guys, and it's always so good to see them. And they're fucking goofballs, so we had so much fun on tour.
Nice,
That's
dude.
right.
Yeah, I'm not one to deviate much. Like, I'm not one to like, like guys will be like, subgenre, this sub. I like it all, man. I like pop punk. I like street pop. I like it all, dude. I think it's all great.
Well,
I'm
just
it's all
a fan
just
of.
punk rock to me.
I'm just a fan of music. I'm a fan of
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I think there's, I think it's relatively ignorant when someone says I only like this or I only like that. And I'm not trying to shit on them, but it's like, no, you just haven't listened to enough of something else. Like there's a style that we all could assume we wouldn't like, but I guarantee there's so much fucking of everything out there on the internet now that you could find something you liked in that, in that little like that umbrella of whatever that genre is. So
I really can't think of something I don't really super care for. Like, I like just about every. I mean, like, we just stemmed out of a Facebook group, and
oh, cool! I didn't know that. That's awesome.
I mean, like, dude, I would be there like posting like TI videos. I don't give a fuck. I mean, like, whatever I want to listen to. I mean, whatever I feel like doing, I'm gonna do it, man. And I think that's what it's about. You're just trying to have a good time, man. Stay out of trouble and fucking get everything together. I mean,
music's a personal experience.
Yeah, I mean,
music's a personal experience. So. Yeah.
Have as much, enjoy yourself. I think is the key. And it looks
Absolutely.
like you guys do, man. When the clips I've seen you playing live, man, it does look like you're having a fucking hell of a good time, man.
It's my most favorite thing to do in the world. Yeah. And and that's the thing too. It's like I've never been I've been in bands that always love doing what they do, but this band, it's like we go into it and come out of it going like, yeah, all right.
Dude, right
and like it's rare that we're ever even bummed after we go up there. So it's like it's knock on wood. I don't want it to fucking start changing, but
sure.
No.
Yeah, it's always a good time, man. I love it. It's so, and the material
that we hear a lot more from you guys, dude. I really do. I mean, that's just my guess.
Yeah. Well, we got more recordings already done, so we're nice, fucking.
Dude.
We got such a working class ethic, but that's why we went. The new record is barely even out because of 2020, but Under Tension. But we've got this new material already, loaded in and ready to go, so that way we can just keep moving,
Boom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Backlog now.
That's sweet.
Awesome.
That's sweet. That's fucking
amazing,
good.
man. What, did I interrupt
All right.
that?
Yeah, it's your turn, Brenda.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes, man.
Are you knitting?
Okay, what?
Always knitting, bro. Steady knitting.
Dude, that's awesome. Oh,
Always.
nice. That's awesome. That's beautiful.
I mean,
I'm always making stuff. You can see me like over here.
That's rad.
I can't just sit here and talk. I have to do something else while I'm doing it. So
I'm proud of you.
What's that?
I said I'm proud of you. Yeah.
About that. I'm trying to think of some stupid question like I normally ask. Like when I asked Bill Stevenson, when was the last time he touched a monkey?
I remember that. I was like, what the
fuck? Hey, I know my place in this group, and it's firm. I know what it is. So
I'm cool with it. I don't think so.
I know. What's your hobby that nobody else would think that you had outside of music?
Oh, I'm a juggler.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a real
thing.
Oh, that's awesome. If you go to if you're on Instagram, you can go to Rev Juggles, and I have a page. Yeah, I mean, I'm not amazing by any means, but I started teaching myself a few years ago, and it's my hobby. Yeah. I love it.
Okay, so
Don't tell anybody cool I said that. Don't tell anybody cool.
well, no, I feel bad.
That's cool. Whatever, man.
We're putting
my
that in the credits.
Right? My 4 oldest kids went to a high school, and my daughter still goes to that high school. They actually teach juggling as one of the electives in their high school.
That's awesome.
So my 4 oldest boys all know how to juggle. They can juggle like the bowling pins. They can juggle boxes. Yeah. They can juggle it's crazy the shit that they can juggle.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's so rad.
So
I wish I could learn that in school.
Yeah, right? I'm so jealous. Like I keep every time I take one of my kids there to register them, I'm like, you sure you don't have adult classes?
Yeah. So I live in South Seattle, and there's actually a circus school blocks from here. They do teach that. Yeah. That's awesome.
We have a circus school at FSU. They have the FSU Flying Circus. So yeah, my kids performed there before.
Dude, that's awesome.
Very cool.
I did not know there was an actual school for circuses.
There's also clown schools. There's a clown college in California.
There's no more circus apprenticeships. Nobody's running out and joining the fucking circus and some old creepy cabbage smelling dude's like, oh, we're gonna teach you to throw dots. There's no more of that. So they gotta have a fucking school somewhere, I figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So, Rev, how did you get your name, man? How did you get that name?
So, about, I would say 15 years ago, when I was playing with my old band, the short story is that I got it for being positive, and it was comparable to Reverend or a preacher, because I would talk to people at shows. The long story is that I was at the show, and there was this kid talking about his mother's drug addiction, and at a show, and talking about how one of my songs had helped him with that. And I just went really in depth to talking to him about that problem and what he can do and his options. And there was a local radio DJ from there, and I interviewed with that guy weeks later on his show, and he was like, "You're like the Reverend of local punk rock," and that's just kind of stuck since. So my band started calling me Rev, and it just kind of stuck. And then, to be honest, it was just a way for people to remember me at that point, because my real name is Aaron, you know that. So
right.
Yeah, there's a billion fucking Aarons out there, so people just started calling me Rev, and it stuck, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
Not a bad name. No.
Yeah.
we know a Reverend. We have a guy that we know, and he's a Reverend. But he's when it took it maybe a step too far. This is a cautionary tale. This man, he is obsessed with Avril Lavigne, and I don't know that he is, but I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of followers now who are. He's created the Church of Coke. I don't even know what it means.
Weird.
It's kind of like a Heaven's Gate thing, but it's
wow. All right.
No. And on that note,
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't do
Don't
it.
fucking join it. Don't join it. Don't let them fucking trick you, man.
Well, Rob, you've been awesome, man.
Yeah.
You've been so cool.
Thanks.
Thank you for.
It's just great to talk to you guys.
I mean, thanks, man. You have my gratitude, brother. I really appreciate you coming on. You were one of the people when we first got this up and running. I was sitting alone one night, and I wrote a list of people that I wanted to talk to, and you were on there. So thank you, man. You helped me get closer to crossing that shit off, dude. So,
yeah, no worries, man. I think it's I try to say this in interviews whenever I do them, and I try to do as much of this in podcasting as I can. I'm always open to it, but I always try to say this at least one point in the interview. Sure. What you guys are doing right now, all of us sitting here and just talking about music, is just as important as any band playing live, because because there could be people on stage playing music and no one watching, and then it'll never perpetuate. So thank you guys for doing this and being at least motivated enough to get together and collectively talk about the art that people like myself make. So thank you from me. Thank you very much for doing what you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's just as important.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
Without
It's
the
just
music,
as
though, there's
important.
no inspiration, brother. So thank you as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
of course. Yeah, we just got to keep it going, man.
We can do it. We can do it all
Absolutely.
together, man.
And when you guys make it up here to Canada, I'm buying y'all a beer. All right.
I'll take. I want to promise a poutine. That's what I want to promise them.
Yeah.
All right. I love poutine. I love poutine.
All right,
We'll
good.
grab poutine.
Yeah.
Man.
Trevor will hook you up,
Awesome. I can't wait.
dude.
That's awesome.
Hey, man, thank you. Thank you so much, dude, for real. I appreciate you.
Of course, you guys.
I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, dude. Hope to see you soon, buddy.
All right, guys. Take
Yeah.
care of yourselves, okay? Thank
Right.
you.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
man.
Guys,
Cheers,
see you.
man.
Bye.
Later.